So I went to go see Despicable Me 2, and like the first film back in 2010, this one's directed by Pierre, Coffin, and Chris Renaud. They're also actually the voice actors for the minions in the film, so in a sense they're kind of the stars, but aside from them, Steve Carell and everyone else from the original cast, they reprise the roles. And they're joined by a couple other notable folks like Ken Jeong, although they're mostly cameos, aside from Kristen Wiig. She plays Lucy, the sort of female super agent that you've seen in some of the trailers. And as far as the film goes, there's really just one word. Adorable. This film is absolutely adorable. So, right up front I'm going to say, Despicable Me 2 is not nearly as good as the original. It's not horrible, mind you, but it doesn't hold a candle to Despicable Me, which in turn really wasn't anywhere near as good as some of the really good, really watchable across all age groups children's movies that have been coming out recently, like the Pixar movies and even some of the DreamWorks Studios films are a lot of fun, kind of regardless. But this one, not quite so much. It's still better than many things out there, but it doesn't quite reach the same level as the first film did. Basic idea is, Gru is Steve Carell's character is very domesticated. So he adopted the orphans from the first movie, and now he's throwing them like pretty princess birthday parties where the fairy doesn't show up, and so he has to dress up and humiliate himself, and yay, and the girls get one of the girls gets a boyfriend and he gets jealous, typical sitcom-y kind of stuff. The next door neighbor keeps on trying to set him up on bad dates, and you can see where the plot is not necessarily this film's strong suit. So he's sort of in this kind of normalcy rut, and he's trying to pretend that he likes it, but after a little bit, the anti-villain league comes and tries to recruit him to help them find a chemical that causes crazy mutations. It turns pretty much anything into a giant, oversized, insane, indestructible purple thing. And they think it's being held at this mall, and so he needs to partner up with the character Lucy, who you might have seen from the trailers, and together they need to go and run this cupcake shop and figure out which of the other store owners is really the evil villain that stole this chemical, and they need to recover it. Yeah, and they don't really. That's sort of the general plot, but I mean that's just a couple little bits. The rest of it is like Gru and the dates, and it's all about him kind of falling in love and getting a mother for the girls. That's really what this movie's about. It's to introduce a mother for the girls for, I guess, future sequels, or I think there's a Minions movie that's coming out at some point, or was it a TV show? But yeah, that's really it. It's a very sitcom-y plot, very basic, pretty mediocre. But thankfully, the writing is actually nicely done. The jokes really work. The minions are fantastically funny, like they were in the first movie. Great little slapstick humor, and it's just entertaining. It may not be good, but it's very entertaining. It's one of the sort of movies that, if you're going to go see it with your kids, the kids will like it and think the story works for them. But they're also gonna enjoy the humor, and you will too. You'll be able to laugh at things together, and the humor's not really going to go over their heads, but adults will find it funny too. I don't really think that unless you're a fan of the first one, or you have kids, it's not really something that adults are going to want to go out and see themselves. But yeah, it's definitely kind of going to be one of the movies that you're going to be able. You're going to watch with your kids. It's not one of the ones you're going to sit them down and then walk off into the next room and do something else. Yeah, that's pretty much That's pretty much this film, and it's a shame because the first movie tried to do a lot more, tried to do something different, and this one just doesn't really do it. It sort of devolves into kind of sitcom-y plot, funny sitcom-y plot, mind you, well done sitcom-y plot, mind you, but still kind of story and plot. But that's more than enough for a lot of people out there, and it's better than a lot of its competitors as far as it goes. So yeah, no, it's not a bad movie at all. Anywho, until next time, guys. Enjoy.